The DIG network. What is the DIG network? Well, the DIG network is heavily based off of Chia's data layer. When I was working on the Climate Action Data Trust, I realized that this was the foundational technology that could completely redefine the internet. The data layer, Chia's data layer, and the technology behind it can foundationally redefine the relationship that the government has with our data. It represents a path towards a completely free internet that we control, that we can monetize, that's completely uncensorable. And at full maturity, there's nothing they can do about it. So that's a little bit about the project. And I've tweeted a lot about it in the past, but I really kind of want to talk about where we are now. Because I've been a little bit quiet for a couple months. I've been very, very busy on just a whole number of things. And I want to just give an update because a lot of people in this room have supported my project directly. And I can't thank you from the bottom of my heart. So every time you give to me, I give back 5 times more. And I want to tell you about what it is that I'm giving and what's coming your way. So the project has had $500,000 invested into it. All right. The funding sources included people in this room who have bought my Minions collection. Who here has a Minion? All right. Hold on to them. They'll be valuable one day. I've gotten community contributions. Steve over here, every couple weeks, this weekend Chia sends me a DIG donation. Thank you very much. And more recently, Silicon.net. In the pre-release phase, I have earned $250,000 that have gone into this project from monetizing GPUs. You may or may not know, but my GPUs, I cashed out all my Ethereum that I've been collecting for years. I bought GPUs. I teamed up with Dylan Rose. I teamed up with Paul Hainsworth. Silicon was built on top of this infrastructure, along with Farm GPU, another one of our providers. And what was was a testing ground to make everything possible that they're giving out today. And let me tell you, like, it works. Like, this is the real deal. And I have the receipts to back it up. We're still small. You know, the DIG network has created jobs for 5 developers and designers in the Chia ecosystem. And during our last alpha phase, about 100 XCH was released out to our mirror alpha testers. So thank you guys. We had about over 100 DIG nodes all across the world that were earning XCH for mirroring data on an uncensorable network. DIG Network has also provided about $3,500 in financial assistance to various members of the Chia community. We have saved people from getting kicked out of their house. We have saved people from building back up their lives after tragedy. Every time that there's an opportunity to give, the revenue that we've generated is first in line to help out. Everything we've built has been open sourced. We have 2 chips that have been submitted The first one was the updated data layer standard, which turns data layer into an Oracle service that, when used, will probably contribute to Chia being one of the most powerful financial services around, because we have the ability to operate on data layer data, on outside data within Chia Lisp, using our Oracle capabilities in data layer. And additionally, more recently, we released the streaming puzzle, which allows you to escrow a whole bunch of funds and stream it out to a source for various reasons. Another thing that we want to do is, when the XCH Foundation is ready, we have a bunch of GPUs lined up for you that will perpetually fund a Chia developer grant program. In August 2024, we released Chip 35. That was the updated data layer standard that I just described. We had the live alpha test. This alpha test was amazing because it proved without a doubt that every one of the ideas that the DIG network had worked. We were still early. We still have stuff to build, but it worked. All right? The only thing that we want to do is get more of that stuff on chain, but this decentralized network works. The ideas work. This is coming. The path is clear. A completely revolutionized internet is in our future, and it's going to be powered by Chia. We have a new chip coming up. It has not been submitted yet, but it's coming. It's called the Rewards Distributor Puzzle. This is something that's so cool that only a Yak can build. So in our first alpha test, a data publisher was paying mirror nodes to mirror the data to create this mesh network of data that was served through a decentralized CDN. And these mirror operators were compensated in XCH. And it was really cool. Like what Drax said, he's like, if this keeps up, I'm making a lot, over the course of a year. Because at the end of the day, the way the economics works is becoming a mirror operator will always become slightly more profitable than plot space. Because that's just, the market will always price it just above in order to compete. So now we have the option, with all this space that we have, do we farm with plots, or do we become mirror operators? It becomes a synergistic relationship where the more mirror operators we have, the more demand we have for XCH. The more demand for XCH we have, the more demand for plots. And if we get this flywheel going, they just push each other up to the moon. The puzzle that Yak is working on is an improvement to the alpha program, where it was operated on a trust me bro, I promise you I'll pay you for operating that mirror. But there really was not anything that was forcing the provider, the data publisher, to actually follow through. The rewards puzzle allows us to escrow the funds ahead of time, so the mirror operators see that the funds are there and they cannot be taken out. Then we have a work.green validator model that validates the mirrors and runs the proofs that they're serving the Merkle trees that they promise that they're serving. And if the mirror node is validated, they are the puzzle is spent adding their key to the puzzle, and they are allowed to claim rewards for the duration that they were in good graces and actually doing what they said they were going to do. And this is far-reaching capabilities beyond just dig. Like, think of Dexy Splash. Like, we could create a validator program where we're validating Splash nodes to operate, and in return, this reward distributor is creating claims for the Splash operators to get rewarded. And that's just the first thing that comes to my head. I'm sure the community will come up with like a million other things, but this becomes a way for projects to directly incentivize the usage of their product. And this, putting the streaming puzzle together with the rewards distributor, creates the right technology needed for the dig network's dig token. This is something that has really only been hinted at in the past, but it's been officially announced now. The dig token will be the escrow and anti-spam token for mirrors and data publishers. The dig token is required to be used and locked up to participate in the network. And utilizing streaming puzzles and rewards distributors, we can simulate the Bitcoin model where we have a designated supply, immutable supply that's emitted over time. You always know when it's going to, how much supply at any given time. It can't be changed. Things like halvings can be built into it. And this is on the project level, not like a blockchain level. So this is going to be huge for the dig network because now we have the ability to have a central utility token that powers the network that is additional yield on top of the data publishers that are having their mirror be sufficiently having their data being sufficiently decentralized. And the way I kind of envision it is simply we have this single issuance cat that we mint on day one, and we just immediately feed the entire thing into the streaming puzzle. So like it's out. It's like it's out of my hands. I can't touch it again. I envision 3 streaming puzzles. We have a stream to the investors. Investors are really important. They help the projects get the resources that they need to build. But we don't want them to be able to dump like 30% of all the tokens in existence overnight because they feel like it. So the streaming puzzle allows them to always maintain a percentage of what's available, but given over time. This is huge because I think, in my point of view, it's an incentive for investors to put money into the program, and they know that they're going to have long-term stake and equity into the success of the project. The next one I see is community airdrops. All you people that have supported from the very beginning will not be forgotten. You minion holders, your GitHub sponsors, your just this week's in Chia. Who the hell has heard of a 20-year airdrop? We put you into the streaming puzzle, and you're guaranteed tokens over the course of 10, 20, whatever years that are put in as a reward for making this possible. And then finally, the streaming puzzle that feeds directly into the rewards distributor. And that's for the network itself. It's fed into the rewards distributor that Yak has helped build. Our warp.green type validators validate which nodes are actually mirroring the data and which nodes are easily accessible. And then the mirror providers are guaranteed their payment for doing the work that they said that they did. This is major because it helps create a sustainable network of unstoppable data with the right incentives. So what's ahead? I do admit I've been really, really, really busy with a lot of different things, and development has slowed a little bit. But that's because I'm putting together the pieces behind the scenes to have a huge impact in the next iteration. I've already identified the technologies I need from the alpha. The data we collected showed what we need to do to make this compete with the big guys. We know the technology needs to be built, and we want to plan it out right. Where we solved incentives. We're working on net traversal, and honestly, once I get those two things up and running and feed that into what we already built, we have a really good system that I really believe is going to change the world. The other thing that we've been doing behind the scenes is we've heavily invested in the GPUs and partnered with Silicon, because we believe that Silicon has the potential to unlock sustainable cash flow into the Chia ecosystem. We believe that the Silicon system empowered developers through NFT-based investments to fund their work. We also believe that we can attract institutional investors that have a stake in the Chia community to buy into these GPUs and redirect the rewards out to the community, so we can have a thriving Chia ecosystem that then the DIG network will host. Imagine every dApp, every Chia dApp is on the DIG network, decentralized front end, like it's unstoppable. And as Silicon accelerates DIG's own GPU expansion, we are on the path to be a cash flow positive Chia company. And my vision, our vision, is to create a Chia-based development and design studio that creates jobs for every abled Chia developer and designer in the ecosystem that wants one. That is our goal. The DIG project is very active, and through this synergy and positioning itself to get the best experts to solve the hardest problems, we will get there, and we will get there shortly, soon. So, with gratitude, I want to thank Yakahito, Ken Griggs, Rigidity, Don Kackman, and Drac. You guys have been my biggest backbone from development. You guys are awesome. Thank you, Dylan Rose and Paul Hainsworth. Working with you guys is freaking amazing, and I'm just so blessed that I'm able to work with you guys on the projects that we worked with. Thank you to the Chia community, your support with the minions, your support with the donations. You know, it really helps a lot. It helps push this forward a little bit, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything that you've given, and I want to give everything that you guys given back 5 times. And then finally, thank you, Gene and Bram, for your vision and making all of this possible. Chia is a community of builders, and we're never going to stop building.